So out again for my morning walk, and I wanted to talk about just this concept of getting rest. It's something that if you've listened to any of my videos with my updates throughout the course of the year of doing carnivore, I mentioned it quite a few times, and I think that I am realizing more and more how important rest is. And for me, I know that I cannot really function well. And I've said before, I don't care how well I may eat, if I don't get an adequate amount of sleep for my body, it's just not a good situation. I'm extremely lethargic the next day. I am mean and just not a very pleasant person to be around. And I realized that I have to be intentional about how I schedule my time to ensure that I'm getting the proper amount of rest. And I just wanted to encourage you to really consider your schedule and to really think about how you perhaps are wasting time throughout the day that can hinder your ability to go to bed at a decent hour. And it's always interesting to me how people are like, oh my goodness, I can't go to bed at a decent hour because I have so much to do. And I think that if we are honest, sometimes, I'm not saying this is always the case, but sometimes it's because we're poor stewards of our time during the day, and we are spending time, an excessive amount of time on social media, are doing mindless scrolling on social media and looking up thing after thing, following other people's lives instead of really tending to our own. And then we get to the end of the day and realize, wait a minute, I wasn't as productive as I could have been, and now I have to stay up later to tend to things that I had the ability to tend to throughout the day. Now, let me just say, I understand that everyone's life is a little different and that there are seasons, right? I've been there. We have 6 children, and I know that there were seasons where I had, babies that weren't sleeping through the night, and I had to get up to tend to them, and that wasn't something that I could necessarily control. I get that. I understand sometimes even people's work schedules. So I'm not talking about the things that you can't control. I'm talking about the things that you have the power to control, right? Because we like to play like play the victim. I'm just a victim to not having enough time. When no, you have the power in certain situations to use your time wisely, and you're just not. So I just want to encourage you, if you are struggling with getting enough rest, and I'm telling you, this could really mess your body up in so many ways. Just go ahead, Google like what happens to your body when you don't get enough rest over a period of time. And I've said it before, it's not just about, oh, let me eat properly. It's a holistic thing, right? It's a package deal, and rest is a major part of it. So I just want to throw a challenge out, like take a look at your day, just one specific day, and just log how you use your time. If you are somebody who feels like, I just don't have enough time, listen, we all get the same 24 hours. It's just about how are we using it. And I would even dare say sometimes it's good to just unplug for a little while, because even if you get to bed at a decent hour, if your mind is just going with all the things that you consumed from the media, that could mess with your ability to sleep in peace and to sleep soundly. So I get that it's good to be informed, but some things, it's just good sometimes to just say, you know what, I'm gonna take a break. I don't need to know everything every single second of the day in terms of what's going on. Good morning. So anyway, that's all I had for you today. Just wanted to share that with you. and you be blessed.
So, before I jump into what's going on right here, I just want to say that I don't always do what I just suggested. There are times where I am absolutely a poor steward of my time. And the reason why I can speak to it so well is that I do have my times of messing up. So I don't want to come off as just being self righteous in that I have it all together. But I can say that when I consistently am mindful of how I use my time and when I get enough rest, that it's well worth it. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I don't want to come off as an expert. I am a person that's going through it just like you. So in any case, let's jump on to what's going on right here. So I recently purchased some grass-fed suet and I'm just cutting it up, and I am going to render some of it. I don't really care for the taste of raw suet, but I have noticed that when I, just lightly cook it in the pan, that I prefer the taste. So I've been trying to be mindful of how much fat I am consuming in terms of like upping the amount of fat. I don't have a specific ratio. It's more just kind of like trying to eyeball it and all of that. So I save the liquid fat that is now in the pan, and we just save it and use it for cooking other things. So right here was my first meal of the day yesterday, and I have some of the lightly cooked suet with some leftover eggs for my children's breakfast. And then right here I just have some chicken wings and some more of the suet. And this was a pretty light meal for me because this was all the chicken we had left and I didn't feel like cooking anything else. So I ended up having a third meal later on, which was 2 burger patties with 2 eggs. So just wanted to share with you what I had yesterday. All right, you be blessed.